Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. I think I made a video talking about the other day, WrestleMania 32, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar. Of course, everybody got all fired up about this during the podcast with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Paul Heyman, when Paul Heyman, for the last 5 minutes of the show, turned it on Stone Cold Steve Austin, inviting him to WrestleMania 32, a lot like John Cena did, inviting Stone Cold Steve Austin to WrestleMania 31, letting him know that this was close to his LA house. Of course, now, WrestleMania 32 being held Dallas Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys play. AT&T Stadium, it's got so many names. It's actually in Arlington, Texas, but it's in the home state of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I believe that Stone Cold, during the show, he said it was only like 90 minutes from his house, and this is probably going to be the biggest, baddest shows of them all. I mean, right now, this show has more hype than just about anything WWE has ever done before. It is, as of right now, people are hoping for Undertaker versus Sting, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Brock Lesnar. So many of these big matches, Triple H versus The Rock. People have been thinking that Shawn Michaels is going to come out of retirement to fight Daniel Bryan. So many dream matches for this show, trying to put, 100,000 people into one arena to watch one wrestling show at a time, and at the same time try to sell a record number of network subscriptions to the WWE Network. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin tried to back off these rumors on his upcoming Stone Cold Steve Austin show, basically saying that he didn't know where Paul Heyman was going to take the interview. He just, flipped the switch and went into Stone Cold Steve Austin mode because he thought it was best for business, and didn't want to, in my own words, sort of pussy out on the challenge from Paul Heyman to fight Brock Lesnar. He didn't want to look like a guy that was backing off. Stone Cold Steve Austin is looked at as a hero in so many wrestling fans' eyes, and a guy that if anybody's going to beat Brock Lesnar in the WWE, it's going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though he hasn't had a match in WWE since WrestleMania 19. People think that if he gets into the ring, he's going to be able to take care of business like Stone Cold Steve Austin used to do back in the day. Stone Cold Steve Austin had to leave wrestling due to a bad neck. Getting into a match against Brock Lesnar, in my opinion, might be bad for business. Brock Lesnar has a very physical style of match, but people thinking making it a Texas death match with more brawling, with punching and kicking and hitting each other with various objects around the ring, will be able to, sort of bring impact to the match without having to see Stone Cold Steve Austin German suplexed around the ring like John Cena did in the last few previous matches at SummerSlam and Night of Champions. Not see Stone Cold Steve Austin taken to Suplex City. In my last video, as I'm going to say in this video, I do not think that this match is going to happen. I think when people think about WrestleMania 32, I think that it's going to be a damn good show, much like WrestleMania 31 was. A lot of people always say that WrestleManias, they take a year off to build up the next one, and 31 was only going to be a match to build up to 32. So many people I heard saying this, saying, I'm not going to 31, I'm going to save my money up for 32. And then as soon as 31 was over, people were saying it was one of the best WrestleManias of all time. Awesome moments on WrestleMania 31, Sting versus Triple H, Seth Rollins cashing in to become the champion. Lots of big matches, Daniel Bryan, John Cena both winning mid-card championships. Lots of big things going down. But we'll have to see. I mean, as of right now, WrestleMania 32 could be one of the biggest letdowns there is in wrestling. I don't think that they're going to be able to do that. No matter what they do, they got so many young stars that they could be filling out this card and trying to go out there and make an impact, whether if it's Neville, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, or even the crop of guys that are there now, being Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns. All of these guys are going to be fighting for their shot in order to get there. As I've been saying, lots of people are thinking that this show is going to be filled up by either part-time or retired wrestlers. They're going to be saying, hey, I work Raw, I work SmackDown, I work house shows. I want my shot to be on this card. But like anybody else listening to this video, I want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle many times. I know many of my friends have never seen Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle live. They've seen him come out for appearances. They've seen him come out to be special guest referees. But, to see a stunner used in an actual match for a false finish or even the finish is one of the biggest things that ever happened when I've been watching wrestling. So my hope is that they get to see it, but as of right now, my wrestling mind is thinking it's not going to happen.